की आन का है, कुछ नशा मातृभूमि की शान का है। हम लहराएंगे हर जगह ये तिरंगा, नशा ये हिंदुस्तान की शान का है। With these as my opening lines, I, Major Anurag Kaushal from 39 GTC, welcome you all to the lecture commemorating 75 years of independence. Independence Day is the most significant day in the history of India because it reminds us of the bravery and struggle of our freedom fighters. On this day, we pay homage to our fighters who fought and gave up their lives for our independence. Since then, we are celebrating our Independence Day every year on 15th August. This day is celebrated to ignite the feeling of nationalism and patriotism across the country. Every citizen has a different viewpoint of independence. A youngster takes this day to celebrate the glory and strength of the country, while for others, it is a reminder for the long suppression and cruelty that our people suffered. It is not only a celebration of independence, but also of unity with the diverse culture of the country. People who have been born after independence must feel proud as they are fortunate to be born in an independent India. Therefore, they must acknowledge the sacrifice of our freedom fighters. The word sacrifice reminds me of few lines which I had read when I had been to Kargil War Memorial. The lines were, शहीदों की चिताओं पर लगेंगे हर बरस मेले, वतन पर मरने वालों का यही बाकी निशान होगा. These lines very aptly indicate the sacrifice that our freedom fighters have made to achieve this independence. We should admire our fortune to have been born in the land of independent India. You must have heard about Subedar Neeraj Chopra, who has recently won gold medal at the Olympics. Few lines from his I would like to share with all of you, which says कि जब सफलता की ख्वाहिश आपको सोने ना दे, जब मेहनत के अलावा और कुछ अच्छा ना लगे, जब लगातार काम करने के बाद थकावट ना हो, समझ लेना सफलता का नया इतिहास रचने वाला है. The above lines aptly indicate this success can only be gained through discipline. NCC is also known for discipline. NCC is not a mechanism, it is a mission. NCC is not just a uniform or uniformity, but it is unity in true sense. And therefore, with this feeling, individuals continue to be created within the country with a mission that continues to inspire others, so that the determination of the country continues to increase, and that is where, in a way, it's an effort to develop the lives and develop the country through those developed lives. NCC is engaged in grooming the youth, imbibing in them the qualities of discipline, selfless service, and the spirit of nationalism. All the ideals that shape our forces are instilled in the young minds to develop their character through qualities like camaraderie, discipline, leadership, secular outlook, spirit of adventure, and selfless service. This shall remain a core activity for the times to come. These shall shape the value system of the future generations and hence has a direct bearing on the moral quotient of the nation building effort. The quality of discipline can be understood through a short story wherein a study was being carried out and a group of children were called in a room and they were briefed by the scientist that here is a bowl of marshmallows. Marshmallows are basically sweets and it is so sweet, it is so tasty that a child is not able to resist it. So the scientist tells the group of children that if you don't eat this marshmallow, then when I come back, I'll give you one more. So this was the aim of the study. Now the scientist has briefed the children and he has left the room. The children are not aware that there are cameras that have been installed in the room, and the scientist is able to see as to what decision or what step is taken by the various children in the room. Now some of the children are not able to resist their temptation and they eat that marshmallow. However, some of them, they are singing songs, they are doing something else, but they are not seeing toward that marshmallow so that they are able to resist that temptation. Now after 20 minutes the scientist comes back and he, as per his what he had told initially, he gives one extra marshmallow to all those children who had not resisted to their temptation. The study is continued from there till the age of 18. Those children, they are being analyzed, their behavior, their progress in life is being analyzed by the scientist. And what is surprisingly concluded, or what the analysis comes after this study, is that children in that room who were able to resist that temptation, they were more successful in their life in future. Whereas the children who were not able to resist their temptation at that time, they ate that marshmallow, within minutes the scientists had left the room. They were not successful in their life. Why? Because they didn't have that self-discipline. They could not control their temptation. They could not tell their mind, they could not tell their heart that I will not give in or I will not bend in front of this temptation. So the quality of self-discipline is emphasized here. The quality of self-discipline which the NCC imbibes in their cadets right from a very young age, which is required. Now, the various qualities which are important at this young age in a cadet, in a young citizen. The first quality is the leadership quality, wherein a leader is able to accept failures. This quality can be understood by an incident from former President APJ Abdul Kalam's life. Now, the incident dates back to the year 1973. So, in the year 1973, Professor Satish Dhawan, he tasked APJ Abdul Kalam to make a satellite and to launch it successfully. So this was the task given to APJ Abdul Kalam. Now the date is August 17, 1979. The satellite is ready to be launched. There are thousands of scientists, they are in the room. The satellite is ready to be launched. Just at T-8 minutes, the systems are handed over to computer. So the computer, it calculates stage 1 velocity, stage 2 velocity, and just at that stage 2, it says that there is leakage in the system and the launch should not be carried out. So this is very surprising. APJ Abdul Kalam looks back to his scientists. The scientists, they analyze, they carry out their calculations again, and they say that there is sufficient oxidizer. The leakage will not be a hindrance to the successful launch of the satellite. So, convinced by this, APJ Abdul Kalam manually, since the computer has shown the fault, so manually they initiate the launch. Just after 1 minute, once the satellite reaches its second stage, it starts wobbling, it goes away from its trajectory, and this is what this is how he has described it. Abdul Kalam has described it. 20 crores worth the satellite they go straight into Bay of Bengal. So now he's worried, he's anxious. Professor Satish Dhawan comes to APJ Abdul Kalam and says that a press conference has been called upon and he wants him to join him in the press conference. So APJ Abdul Kalam describes that how much worried he is, that thousands of everyone is going to be there, media is going to be there, and how he is going to answer as to what went wrong. So they are in that room, the media is there, and Professor Satish Dhawan says that he takes responsibility for this failure and they have learned from their lesson, and he promises that within next 1 year they will do a successful launch. They will successfully place the satellite in the orbit. With this promise, they go. Now the date is 18 July 1918. Same room, exactly after 1 year, the satellite is ready to launch. President APJ Abdul Kalam, T-8 minutes, the systems are handed over to the computer. The computer calculates stage 1 velocity, stage 2 velocity, stage 3 escape velocity required. Everything is perfect, ready to launch. Ignition button is pressed and the satellite is successfully launched. Now this time Professor Satish Dhawan comes and tells APJ Abdul Kalam that you take a press conference and you tell everyone about the successful launch of the satellite. The quality of a true leader is shown here. That when it was failure, he took that failure responsibility on himself. But when it was success, he gave it to his teammates. He told APJ Abdul Kalam to take the press conference and tell everyone that they have successfully launched the satellite exactly after 1 year. The quality of a true leader. Another quality that I want to share, which a young cadet or a young citizen should inculcate in him at this age, is the quality of being modest and successful. And this quality you can see in the famous cricketer Sachin Tendulkar. You see how successful he has been in his life, in his career. They call him God of cricket. But at the same time, he is modest and simple. How we can achieve success and remain at the peak of success, that is what we can learn from Sachin's career. He is a source of inspiration, not only for the cricketers, but also for every person who wants to get success in life. The quality is being modest and successful at the same time. The next quality, or the next important thing that a young cadet or a young citizen should imbibe, is the importance of being humble. You must be knowing about the chess and the chess champion Vishwanathan Anand, whose mind has created history wherein he has been able to etch his name in the history of chess, and he has been able to inspire generations to pursue the game just by being humble. The next thing I want to share with you now are two important words which are part of everyone's life, especially young students, young cadets at this stage. The words are discipline and regret. If you are disciplined at this age, at this young age, if you are disciplined, if you are making effort, if you are working hard, then you will be surely successful after 5 to 6 years. You will be more successful than your counterparts. You will stand apart from them. People will look upon you at your success. But in case you don't do the same, then exactly after 5 to 6 years, you will regret that why you did not put effort, why you were not disciplined at that young age. So this is that age, my friends, where you all have to be disciplined, where you all have to work hard, where you all have to imbibe these qualities in yourself so that you have a fruitful, a successful future after 5 to 6 years. Another quality or another important thing is the importance of ups and downs in life. These are lines of the business tycoon Ratan Tata. You must be knowing Ratan Tata. He's a very successful business tycoon, and these lines say that there are ups and downs in everyone's life. There are ups and downs in everyone's life. Even an ECG is not a straight line. What he wants to convey is here. What he wants to convey is that in every individual's life, there are ups and downs. There are failures. Even an ECG that you carry out, you must have seen doctors carry out. That is also not straight. It has got those graphs. It's ups and downs, and the graphs are there, indicating that life is also like this. There are ups and downs, you accept it, you learn from it, and you move ahead. That is how you have to be successful in life. Another quality that I want to bring out here is the importance of coming out of one's comfort zone. Now, what happens is there is a king, and he has been gifted 2 magnificent falcons. So the king is very happy that he has received 2 falcons. He calls his falcon trainer and he tells them to train them so that both the falcons should fly. So the trainer takes those 2 falcons, he trains them, and exactly after 1 week he comes to the king and he tells him that one of the falcon is flying magnificently, but the other is not responding to the training. So now the king is worried that why the second falcon is not responding to training. He calls his courtmen. They are not able to find a solution to it. He sends a message across to everyone in his rule that whoever is able to train his falcon, he will gift him whatever he wants. He will gift him gold, he will gift him whatever he wants. So now a farmer comes and he says and he tells the king that I will be able to train the falcon. So the king says, okay, you take this task, you train the falcon, and exactly after 1 week, the farmer comes and says that the second falcon is also now flying. The king is surprised, and so is everyone in the court. So they ask him how he has been able to do this. So then the farmer says that I used to cut the branch on which the falcon used to sit. So the falcon is sitting on the branch, he cuts that branch, the falcon is forced to fly, he sits on the second branch. The farmer says, I would again cut the second branch, forcing him to fly to the next one. So the lesson that we need to learn from this story is that just like a ship is not made for the harbor, and the falcon is not designed to sit on the branch, you and I weren't created for a mediocre life. There is more to life than to settle for the familiar, the mundane and the safe zone. Sometimes we can begin our flight with some gentle training, like in case of the first falcon. Some gentle training was given to him and he was able to fly. However, in some other times, we need something much more drastic, like the second falcon wherein the branch was cut off. He was forced to come out of his comfort zone, and then he was able to achieve success. The last quality that I want to share with you is the importance of never giving up, that is perseverance. There was a famous author, Paulo Coelho, and who was the author of the book The Alchemist. He once shared this incident from his life, wherein he says that initially his books were not selling, he was not successful, but his determination, his perseverance, his faith in himself that one day he will be successful, that he has done good work, this book that is written will be a success. His perseverance got him success. The book became a bestseller later. Now some of the qualities or some of the good habits that I personally feel that every young citizen or young cadet should imbibe in him at this young age. The first is the positive outlook. One should have a positive outlook in life. There will be ups and downs, there will be failures, but one should have a positive outlook. One's aim should be to learn lessons, to rectify mistakes, and to correct them and then move ahead. The second quality is reading books. The strength of the mind is through knowledge. And at this age, one must impart knowledge in himself. Reading books, gaining knowledge will make you stand apart from others. And this is the right time when you should gain knowledge. Here I would just tell you a small example. Say a soldier is given a task of capturing a bunker. With his team, he has been tasked that he has to capture a bunker. He will be able to complete this task only if he has the required skills, only if he has taken the required training to achieve that task. So knowledge in the form of skills, in the form of training is very important. With the right skills, with the right training, you will be able to achieve your task. So knowledge is very important. Building up a hobby. At this age, one should have a hobby. It can be a creative hobby, it can be sketching, it can be photography, it can be related to physical fitness in the form of sports, it can be in the form of knowledge, wherein you read historical events, you are aware of the current affairs. The next quality is the importance of not being afraid of failure, not being afraid of failures in life. Whatever happens, you give your 100%. You put in effort, you put hard work. And if you fail, give it a second attempt. But the next time when you make an attempt, you should be better than your previous one. Last, one of the important qualities is respecting your family, respecting your parents. And in the end, it is you versus you. The Indian Army has always contributed towards nation building. A line I would like to share with you here, which is Janani Janma Bhumishcha Swarga Dapi Garyasi, which means one's mother and motherland is one higher plane than the paradise. This concept needs to be drilled into every citizen's mind. The subject of nationalism is too serious to be left out and not studied. Every person has to be taught to love his mother, to love his motherland. The army is a living example of unity and integrity. You see, in army, there are people from different religion, different places, different caste, different economic background, all of them working together as a cohesive unit, all of them working together as a team. They all live, eat, work, exercise, pray together. In war, they fight and die together, all without a moment's hesitation or thought about each other's background. They are ready to die for each other. Soldiering is their common religion. Soldiering is their common culture. This togetherness instills in them an unparalleled spirit de corps, which holds in good stead in the battlefield. They sacrifice self for the service of the country. They sacrifice their today for others tomorrow. This motivation should be made to be infectious and should catch up with those who come in contact with the army, to include their own family members. Some of the patriotism and nationalism of the army personnel should be made to be rubbed onto the others who may come in contact in the day-to-day life of a soldier. The armed forces have been a symbol of unity and secularism. The young cadets should also